And it's because teams like the Vikings, Sean, they absolutely looked incredible when they had the circumstances working exactly in their favor. And we can take advantage of that. Vikings open up at -3. They're now -4. Total opens up at 53.5. It's now 52.5. The 3-4 Lions at the Vikings. The Lions picked up Everson Griffin today. So now that was out of Trey Flowers went on the IR. They needed Griffin. So it's not like an addition because they lose Flowers, who's been really good this year. The Lions are coming off 41-21 trouncing at home to the Colts. This is perfect. 7 straight home loss. Haven't won at home since October 2019. Lions have scored first in every game this year. Stafford, 24-42, 336 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. As a team, they rushed 13 times for 29 yards. Peterson ran 5 times for 7 yards. DeAndre Swift, 6 times for 1 yard. Now Trey Flowers on short-term IR. If they get Everson Griffin rolling, and I guess Everson Griffin can't play for them this week, right? Because he's got to go through the COVID protocols?
Yeah, it's weird. I think it's a 10-day protocol. I thought it was 14. But I think it's a 10-day protocol that they have to go through, so I don't know if he's eligible yet.
Okay, so Griffin probably isn't there. But if Flowers comes back from IR and they have Everson Griffin rolling, all of a sudden, Patricia has really something to work with. Now, Golladay left Sunday's game with a hip problem, and Patricia said at first he said it was day-to-day, and then he said it was week-to-week. So don't expect Golladay to be in the lineup, but Marvin Hall stepped up, 4 catches for 113 yards. Hawkinson, 7 catches for 65 yards. He seems to do that constantly. Jamal Agnew, wide receiver, not used that much with a rib injury. Vaitai, their tackle, foot injury. Trufant missed the Colts game. He continues to be listed as questionable, but he could come back. And then here we have this Vikings team off a big 28-22 win at Green Bay. Dalvin Cook looked incredible. Rushed for 163 yards. Caught 2 catches for 63 yards. First Viking over 4 decades to score 4 touchdowns in a game. Cousins just 11 for 14, 160 yards, 1 TD, dealing with 23-mile-per-hour wind. He didn't risk, and that was fine. But Minnesota's defense stepped up in a big way. Vikings defense is so weak against the pass. So the 23-mile-per-hour winds allowed them not to worry about it. Not only are they weak against the pass, but Dantzler, their 3rd-round draft pick, their cornerback, was carted off late in the first quarter. So he's doing well. It ended up being a concussion. His head snapped backwards, a concussion. He injured his neck, but he has a chance to play Sunday. Chris Boyd hurt his right knee in the 4th quarter, is questionable. That's another quarterback. Another quarterback, Mark Fields, suffered a pinhole puncture of his lung. So he's questionable. That doesn't sound questionable to me. It sounds like he's out of the lineup. And then Holton Hill remains questionable. So even without Golladay, this is all Lions all the time to me. Lions cover this game. Dennis Garcia says under 53.5 already played. Bebsy, take it away.
Well, Slats45 is saying Gerard Davis out for the Lions with COVID too. Is this another game where we're wondering about who's got COVID and who doesn't?
I hope not.
I mean, if that's the case, then because I was with you until I read that. I mean, yeah, Ziggy Balls is saying Vikings need this more. They absolutely do. They're coming off a huge win though, and I don't know how much of that had to do with how porous Green Bay's run defense is, or just how good Dalvin Cook is. And look, I'm a big Dalvin Cook fan. I think he's a phenomenal player, and they are an absolutely different team with him in the lineup versus him without the lineup. So, man, I think this is a really difficult spot, and especially if now there's COVID concerns on Detroit.
I didn't know about the Davis thing. That's why this show's so important. Thank you, Slats. I mean, I was about to bet the bet. I think, it's crazy because I came so close to betting before the show started, and I held off. It's like, you know what? Why don't you talk these through with the guys and girls and see how this bangs out? And okay. So what I pumped the brakes on the Lions. Dennis Garcia is already on this under 53.5. What do you think of it?
I mean, Dennis is good company to be in, and I tend to agree with him here on this one. The only thing that really concerns me is the week that Cook put out last weekend. But, we've talked about this time and again. When you're coming off a career day, bet the under in the props against that player the following week. And so I don't think he's going to pop off like he did last weekend. So, yeah, I'm with Dennis on this. And, is it still sitting at 53.5?
No, it's down to 52.5 or 53. That does seem far too high, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think I might tail Dennis on this one and jump on that.
Well, let me see what I can offer you here. Odds.com. Odds.com's odds page here. We're moving to totals for the licensed American books. Let's see what we're dealing with here. You can get, they're all down to 52.5 except for PointsBet. PointsBet giving you another nice spot. 53 at minus 115.
All right, I'm going to jump on that.
This makes a lot of sense to me. I know we're beating up these games and taking a lot of time on them, and I need to speed up. I can't have Bebsy doing these 3-hour shows, especially with the buys. But, Bebsy, what would be your concern about this total going over?
My only concern really is Dalvin Cook going off. I don't see either team lighting it up except for him. And like I said, and we've talked about this a bunch, like a guy is not going to go off in back-to-back weeks like that. So I just feel divisional game, bit of a dogfight here. I like this being a lower scoring game.
Al Cervic says, I've lost more money back in the Lions than any other team. I can't back them. I've lost a lot of money back in the Lions. I've probably lost more with the Falcons over the last 2 years. But if Dalvin Cook dominates this game, I'd like it for the under. In a great situation where Cousins doesn't take risks and doesn't throw deep balls. So I don't that doesn't hurt me. Christian Rivas in the house, fresh off a giant parlay victory in the last 24 hours. I don't know when it was, Christian, but a little 4K casher from our man Christian. Okay, Bebsy moving on the under 53. I am going to move on the Lions as soon as I get a little more information on the COVID situation. Also, I made a mistake in talking about the Everson Griffin situation because I thought he was picked up today, and Mr. Fungmung saying he was picked up a couple weeks ago. So that was
he was picked up a little while ago, but I don't know if he's eligible. He might be.
So okay. So that's a big difference maker. I am going to bet the Lions. I need to figure out what's going on with the COVID issue, and I do agree with your look on the under.
It's not my look. It's Dennis Garcia's look.
But it has become your look.
I'm just jumping on it.
No, I feel you. Dennis, great cap.